Hey guys, it's Heidi K. It is February 2nd, 2020. This is my fourth video. I did miss yesterday, February 1st, because I was pretty busy. I went to the park with my dog so she could let loose, which was very fun. It was a little nerve-wracking, but it which anyway, nowadays I feel very vulnerable when I go out. I'm not sure if it's because all the benzos have been stripped from my system, or if it's just, lack of medication, or if this is my new normal, but I'm taking each day as it comes and trying to do the best I can with it. Yesterday, I did take her to the dog park, so that was a little nerve-wracking for me, and I went by myself. Today I was out and about again, but I was out with a friend who took me on a drive. Sometimes just going and listening to music and not having to talk about things helps. So today I'm going to try and talk about some coping skills that I've learned over the years that may help others. I do, however, am not again going to tell you that I'm not a professional. I only speak from experience. I cannot tell you what you have to do. I can only tell you what may help. I could guide you in a direction that may help you a little bit farther than maybe the help you've had before. Been dealing with this for quite some time, and actually now I'm getting used to a new system, so I'm gonna let you get used to it with me. But for coping skills, as far as my anxiety, it is off the chain. I really have never in my life experienced such a complete. I feel very unsafe everywhere I go, and I'm not outgoing anymore. I don't want to talk to people, which is very odd because I love talking to people. And this actually has been coming on for the last like year and a half. I used to be very friendly. Hey, how you doing? How's your day? Customer service oriented. Um, but I'm not sure if therapists say that it could be aftermath trauma of just the anxieties. I don't know, the trauma, the anxiety. I'm not going to speculate. As this time goes on and I start this new journey with a new therapist, hopefully I will find what works for me and um, be able to get back on track. In the past, I have lashed out because of my anxiety. So now I have, in the last couple or 2.5, 3 months, I've been more isolated. I lashed out pretty badly prior to that through text messages to mostly, because I really don't mean the things that I say that are so nasty when I'm anxiety filled and rapid fire thoughts are coming through. But it is what happens with that anxiety. It's not an excuse. I'm being very honest about it, and now that I can recognize it, I can take the steps to change it. And I'm only telling you about my experiences because if my experiences can help others, then I I've done what I set out to do, because I really want others to be able to not feel alone and to get the help that's out there um, as needed. So, one of my coping mechanisms, and a lot of people who know, a lot of people know about this coping skill, is breathing. You can count to 10, which is a big one for anger management, all kinds of things. They use it different ways, but my one way of doing it is I have to imagine something in my head. So then I'm focused on my breath. As you've seen in different videos, I do forget easily. So not imagining something tends to make me forget what I'm doing and go back to my mind being at rapid thoughts and the anxiety not being under control. So, with the breathing, I do a count in of 4 and then a count out of 4. And in my head, while I'm doing this, I keep drawing a box, and it's just of counts of 4. So, and then I guess to me, it's like 4 sides, just 4. But the breathing techniques, there's many that you can find on YouTube. Or actually, if you know anybody who does go to therapy, breathing is also a very mindful technique. Being mindful helps you to calm your nervous system and get you to um, check back into reality. So, when breathing, when you're focused on that, you aren't focused on that angst or the emotions that go with that anxiety. You're more focused on what you're doing at that time. The next one is cold. You can take a cold shower, run the cold water over your neck. You can hold a piece of ice, which is one of my favorites because I can kind of feel the burn. And since I was a cutter back in the day, um, whatever, back in the day for me, um, you hold the ice in your hand and you feel a burn. So your focus is now on that coldness, but you don't actually harm yourself. There are smells. So if you find something that's kind of soothing to you, some people it's clean laundry or um, it's a rose. I have one that I got from a therapist and it smells citrusy and it reminds me of spring. So I instantly, when I smell it, I get this vision in my head. Again, with the visions for calming down and focusing. Um, this one was focusing on spring and being in like a gully and, just everything that would go with that. And that helps me relax because being out in the wilderness is one of my favorite things to do. So if I can um, go to that vision or that safe place, then I am able to control my anxiety. Um, Others is going for a walk, listening to music very loudly, or singing. Sometimes they say if you sing 10 minutes a day, who cares if you're not good at it? Who's good at anything? You just figure out what works for you. Different music that goes with your voice, or if you just like screaming, scream a lot. I mean, it works for some people, and who is anybody to judge? I mean, we're all just trying to make it in this world. So again, singing. Um, Another one is like getting off into a fantasy world. I would say watching TV, but watching TV sometimes triggers me in the sense that I get, very emotional if I see puppies and, cute kids and whatnot. So, um, I try to go more towards like romance novels. Sorry, but sad but true. I did read all the 50 Shades, even darker, stuff like that. It's I can kind of go off into a fantasy world, if you will, and be able to then calm back down from the reality. Again, I do have to check back in from that and back to reality. And it's proving to be without medication a lot harder every day. So, like I said in previous videos, with or without medication, that should be discussed with a doctor. You definitely should never try and take yourself off a medication without having a doctor present or involved in what's going on with you. I have said in the past that people who use are I would have preferred for myself to find healthier ways such as exercise and better eating habits because I love the fast food. In the last 3 months, I put on another 15 pounds, so yay me. But yeah, fast food is going to be my next thing that checks out of me. Healthier eating habits are going to check back in, and I know I laughed about exercise before, but I really do believe that it can help. So right now I'm just trying to focus on walking my dog, and that's pretty good for me. If you know how lazy I am, you know that's good for me. So exercise anyway is another way for coping. Some people can run really fast. I do not run unless I'm being chased, and it depends on who's chasing me, because I might turn around and just deck you. Just saying. That was just supposed to be a joke, so please don't take it to heart. Um, anyway, I just wanted to talk about some different anxiety ways to handle anxiety. Also, just check in with everybody and say, hey, I hope you have a great Super Bowl, that you spend it safe with family and friends. Um, Thank you again for watching. It means the world. If you are concerned about someone you know, please reach out to them. And if you don't feel like you can reach them, please find a way to get in contact with somebody who may be able to, whether it be outside the family and friends, if necessary. I feel that a lot of times mental illness goes by the wayside and people are afraid to talk about it. It's like, ooh, scary. It can be, but life is scary. So let's try and get on top of things. And thanks again for tuning in. Remember, there's the suicide hotline, also 911 if you're ever really scared, and you feel like you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else, or you feel somebody else may hurt themselves or somebody else. Um, Please, let's be aware. Be aware. Thanks again. I'm Heidi K. Bye.